in 5-6 years' time, keepers might be redundant.
Is that what you're saying, Dave?
I think keepers are going to become such a key cog in how teams play that they will be outfield players. So there was Bundesliga 2 about 2-3 years ago. There's a few coaches that were trying keepers in central midfield in a sense of when you build out from the back, you play through that first line. I think we already do that. You know, Arsenal do it really, really well. But where I think it might change is like the progression. So you're in that mid-third of the pitch. How would you progress the ball? I think keepers could be used there. In the final third, I think keepers could be used there. It's an extra outfielder. You have one more player to play with.
Are you talking about rush goalie?
Basically, fly keeper. It's going to happen.
What are you saying?
Not to that extent of rush goalie. But no,
this is old school. Everything comes back round, doesn't it? Rush keepers back.
Try and now, even now, we try and play where I become a centre-half in a back 4 or a back 3.
Really? So this is happening now?
So you're training with defenders?
No. So when you
do shape,
when you're doing shape and you're going through playing out from the back, you don't have the goalkeepers. People who want to play out from the back, teams now, won't have goalkeepers just standing in the 6-yard box. They will be on the edge of the box or in line with the centre-halves. Obviously, give the ball away, you're in a terrible position. But that is...
things change. Like when I was playing, obviously, you know, the goalkeepers would always go over to a separate area and do the thing. Like, what would your daily routine be?
Yeah, that's still the same.
Keepers always in the gym. They love the gym, don't they?
That's all the same. So
why do you love the gym so much?
Just because of like everything we put our body through, upper body wise. So I'm 87 kg. Every time I land, depending on how forceful my jump is, I'm getting 87 to 100 plus kg going through, shaking me basically. So that's elbows, shoulders, hips. You have to use your core a lot for saves.
Getting up,
but also for saves so you don't rotate, the same as a spread.
You're in control of this. This is your team that you may feel that you can go on a night out, you can win the Premier League, you can win the FA Cup. This is the team.
Yeah. And we gave you a scenario. So the scenario is, imagine an away game. So there's a bit of a travel thing as well. So as well as the team, you've got a
flight.
It's the whole day experience.
Can we stay over after the game?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Chris, you're the best chairman in world football here.
I guess we start with the goalie, right?
Yeah, so I've gone for David James in goal. He's a friend of the pod, big character. But importantly, I've gone for 3 substitute keepers as well in my squad.
Wow, that's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
So is J-Mo just a shoe-in?
Well, I love J-Mo. I think technically as a goalkeeper he's unbelievable. I really mean that. I think he's had a lot of stick at times, but technically as a goalkeeper, he loves goalkeeping. Great character. And I do think he'd be my number 1. But I do have 3 substitute keepers. They're Graham Stack, Jimmy Walker and Stephen Bywater.
Is that for morale? Is that you want to, we spoke about how sub-keepers are big in the dressing room. Is that you want 3 of those guys?
Yeah, so I feel like the importance of the role of a substitute keeper is undervalued. I think they know they're not going to play. And if they're not the best of characters, it's like having them around. It's like you need them to want to train every day. You need them to be happy to warm up the number 1 goalkeeper. They have to be good characters. And the ones I've picked are some of the best second choice keepers I think around.
Are you claiming then that let's even skip over second choice? Are you saying because you've got 3 substitute keepers, your 3rd and 4th substitute goalkeeper, it's more important the character side of it than the actual talent?
But the character side of Graham Stack, Jimmy Walker and Stephen Bywater is they are going to knit the rest of the team together because they are such big characters. Graham Stack is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. We've got to get him on the pod. Absolutely love him. Jimmy Walker the same. I mean, we signed him. He's spent a long time at Walsall. That's where he played most of his games. Went to West Ham. He's a bit iconic there. I think the most iconic thing he did at West Ham was a bicycle kick after the game had finished that someone had captured on YouTube. Well, obviously captured on the phone and then put it on YouTube. And it's out there. Please go out there and Google Jimmy Walker bicycle kick for West Ham. it's not actually in a game, but it rattles the crossbar, and it's a fantastic moment.
But what do you mean? I've not seen this. What do you mean? It's not in the game. So what? He's just.
Well, I think he's just like, you know, when all the players sort of go out after a game, and I'll be honest with you, I've been that player where you're a substitute and you're just like, oh, you're absolutely fuming, and you walk out and you've got to do the running and stuff like that. Someone like Jimmy Walker's done a bicycle kick, it livens everyone up. Those players don't mind running anymore, you know, like Jimmy's doing a bicycle kick, like awesome. That's how important.
Did he shout he was doing this before?
I wasn't at West Ham at the time.
No,
I've only seen he showed me the footage. He said, "Do you want to see one of my finest moments?" He showed me the footage. Yeah, he came to Tottenham after that. And bearing in mind, we had three. I think we had Brad Friedel, we had Carlo Cudicini, and Aurelio Gomez, and Jimmy Walker was signed as well. So like he was never going to play, and he never did. But I genuinely believed he was signed on the basis that he might do a bicycle kick after a game, and you know, little things like that. Like he did knit everyone together, and everyone in the dressing room loved him. And not many, you know, Spurs fans might even know he was there. You know, like the ones who don't know about the club, you'd never have seen him play, but he did knit the dressing room really, really well.
How's Gomez not on your list? He's an unbelievable.
No,
character.
I agree with that. Yeah, he's a fantastic keeper. Yeah, I agree. But I went for J-Mo, who's going to start, and then 3 Mavericks.
Nice guys don't get into Crouchy's 3 goalkeeper substitutes.
No.
Which is very harsh
there is
on
room
Aurelio.
for him. You know, if I'd have thought of him, he would have been in
Yeah.
because he's a nice guy. But I'd rather someone did a bicycle kick after a game.
Is there any major topics you want to discuss on the pod, or
Just talking about goalies v strikers.
yeah, you're not happy with Goalkeepers are different, though, aren't they?
Yeah, we are different, but it's not. Strikers is not the hardest position on the pitch.
It definitely is.
It
Because,
isn't.
like,
How many people go for a golden boot each year?
Yeah, it's tough.
5 or 6?
Yeah,
How
but
many
that-
people
oh,
go
you
for
better
golden
imagine
gloves? 1, 2?
Fair point. Why aren't the Golden Gloves given the same respect as the
Do you know
Golden
there's a point on
Boot?
your side? How many keepers do you see in the media?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're watching Sky BT, or there's not a great deal of you around, is there?
I think
Is that because you don't know the game?
I think Rob Green is one of the best ones out there.
Yeah.
I think Schmeichel will become a good one. Casper. I think
Casper.
Fozzie will do a good. Will be good once he finishes it.
Do you know what's weird about this podcast is, like, I give keepers a bit of stick, but we've had Foster on.
I know you've
We've
had
had
that.
you, right? We've had Casper on, and they've all spoke really well, haven't they?
I think.
Yeah.
Right. So, if you were to play in goal or I was play up front, who would do the better job?
Oh,
And
that's...
it'd always be the goalie outfield.
You reckon? What about David James from Man City when he come out? And,
Yeah, well, if
Tried
you'd
to
have put the
lob
striker in goal, then every single day we do shooting,
Yeah,
we do crossing and finishing.
yeah, but
Goalies are
So if you
becoming...
stick us in the box, we might nick a goal. You
See,
shoot
if
from
I-
30 yards, you ain't got a clue.
I do think we have.
See, the theory is
I'm
goalies
screwed.
are getting better outfield players, becoming better outfield players, right? But strikers aren't becoming better goalies.
The beat has stayed
See how
there.
we dismiss that straight away then? You didn't want to hear
lying,
me say
are you
that. I didn't.
Did you
You
want
do
to
like
be?
Salah.
Did you want to be a goalie?
You did. You
Honestly,
Yeah.
swear.
Swear to God.
From day one.
Yeah, my dad said, can we go to local football team? I said, what position? I said, in goal. Just turned around to me and said, are you mad? And I was like, yeah, must be.
Yeah.
Played in goal. I played outfield for school, centre mid. Got a 6-week trial offer for Port Vale at centre mid in like year 9. But I never ever wanted to be an outfielder.
Yes, that's another question, right? Sorry, moving on a little bit.
So we are weirdos, yeah.
Well, no, I just feel like you move backwards. I think. But, you know, the ones that stay there must be elite level.
What do you mean, the goalies?
No, the forwards.
So he's saying you start as a forward
And you
and then you
move
move
all the way
down.
Oh, I see what you mean. So if you can't
So if
be
you
a
can't
forward, you go to
be-
midfield.
You'd be a
If you
centre
can't do
half, you'd be a winger, you'd be a right, you'd be a centre half.
Which is a problem for you, actually, Crouchy, isn't it? Because
no
you're
one
worried
wants
the
to be-
legacy of the strike. One day you'll say, I was a striker, and people go, worst position on the pitch there.
Is it statistically, are there more managers and coaches that come from midfield than any other?
So if we think of the top ones, right? Guardiola, central midfielder. Carlo Ancelotti, central midfielder. Then you've got Jurgen Klopp played centre half. I think that's part of it. But I also, the one thing that I think about it with a midfielder is a midfielder can usually play left back, right back, centre back, defensive midfield, central midfield, attacking midfield, probably could play up front, probably could play on either wing. Their understanding of the whole game because of the position and what it entails.
Like centre forwards, strikers, like not so much.
Goalkeepers?
Yeah.
managers, are they? All goalkeepers, yeah.
No, there's obviously
That's obvious. So that was that,
I knew it. I knew you'd nibble. For one, he hates any notion that centre forwards and goalkeepers can be compared to any way.
that was
secondly,
obvious. What I'm saying is
the utter disgust at the thought of a goalkeeper being in charge of a football team.
name me one.
Nuno Espirito Santo as the Premier League one.
Yeah,
Doesn't have a job anymore though.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. Like goalkeeping managers are the new Carls.
Maybe.
Let's be honest.
I like some Google.
If you know one, please get in touch. You laughed at me for saying and like, but they aren't managers. It's not football, is it? They're playing.
Well, it is.
Will there be more? Because we're getting ball-playing goalkeepers that do more than the old school goal, like Manuel Neuer, because he can basically play in central midfield.
Well, Oliver Kahn. Obviously, like is in charge of Bayern Munich. Obviously, got a high-powered job. Dino Zoff was a top manager, right?
Yes.
Okay, Dino Zoff won.
There'll be a day, because science evolves, that a baby will be born and the midwife will look at it and go, oh, look, you've got a goalkeeper. You'll be there next to wife's just given birth. You'll be like, what? At first, is baby okay? Baby's okay. What is it? It's a false 9. I think we're having this discussion now, predicting that, will there be goalkeepers that can one day manage? And, that's the question we're asking on this podcast. Feed in. Let us know.
My first thought would be no.
No.
But please feed in.
So free kick, right? Do they look at you to make the call whether you want to draft it, Scooter? And then do you point at the player and go, you?
No, he knows
down.
before the game. Before the game.
Designated draft excluder.
The draft excluder knows.
Yeah.
Arteta will pick. You're excluding.
Our set piece coach will pick.
Do you get a say?
No. I could do if he starts putting Gabriel as a draft excluder, and I've got Cedric and Martin defending James Tarkowski in the box.
Yeah. Do you think draft excludes? Because I think what makes it quite funny is they face away from the ball.
They have to.
So they're lying. Yeah, but don't you think it's more manly to face the ball
Not allowed.
as the draft excluder?
Not allowed.
If it hits your hand,
Hands.
VAR.
Yeah.
You won't get VAR
But how
from a draft
but
excluder.
seriously, how manly would it be if you faced front on and put the arms behind your back?
That's a Terry Butcher.
Now that is a geezer. That is a geezer. Do that, and you are a fella. You are a man.
So we found out in the Euros. So before the Euros, referees came in and whatnot and spoke to the team, and we asked the question, and they said it's better if you turn the wrong way. Cause if
You asked if the draft excluder can face the ball.
It's going to win you a tournament or not.
Yeah, but why? But there's not many benefits other than just looking fucking hard.
No,
you would take a ball in the face or the bollocks.
You need to switch on now.
But you can say about the wall. Like, why doesn't the wall face the other way?
That's
You
a
need to
good
switch
point.
on because
Yeah.
if something happens and he's facing the ball, he can see most of where the ball lands. So he could be facing the other way and be keeping people offside and stuff.
Can you tell me, is there a rule against, say, some goggles being bought on? like a mask?
You're so childish.
Yeah.
You're so
Yeah,
childish.
but just
Shall we
entertain
do
it for a minute.
Shall I do it? Martin Odegaard. He's my draft excluder.
Facing forward.
Alparcio.
Alparcio is my draft excludio.
Yeah, but when he goes to lie down, go, no, turn around.
Shall we try? I'll try.
Face it.
If I got this weekend. West
No.
Ham.
Face it. So if we see Arsenal and Odegaard's draft excluding full frontal,
Which have I brought a cup on?
we know
A cricketer's cup and a helmet.
Yeah, that's what I think. Someone runs on.
Odegaard's going full frontal. Who have you got the weekend?
West Ham.
West Ham. Full frontal. Who takes the West Ham?
Yeah.
Cresswell. So he
We will need a jumper because
All right.
he's a decent left foot
see
over
if
the
you
ball.
can bring in Odegaard full frontal on the weekend.
I'll ask him.
Can you imagine
I'll
the
ask
first full frontal draft excluder?
Is Alparcio.
Is Alparcio. Twitter will explode.
Goalkeepers.
What about
This is the
keepers?
name. This is what we need to know. There's none. 1%.
In Premier League history, 2.7% of managers were goalkeepers.
Unbelievable.
Only 7 out of 259 managers.
Right.
That's incredible.
Because obviously we attacked them last time, I did a bit of digging, and there is one manager that was a goalkeeper that won the Champions League with Marseille. Raymond Goethals, a Belgian goalkeeper. But
Wow.
apart from that, not a lot of success.
Can you find out for next week, Dave, please, what all goalkeepers go on to do with their lives in general? I want a breakdown of job by job. Like, if they're not getting
Percentage of
into
jobs.
managing, what do they tend to get into?
Goalkeeping coach,
Yeah,
obviously.
they're
Because
all goalkeeping
no player.
coach.
I wonder if there's ever been a player who's gone on to be a goalkeeping coach.
Fantastic. This is like a new challenge every week,
That is
isn't it?
groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Imagine being a player your whole life and then going, I just really want to be a goalkeeping coach.
Do you want to be a manager? No.
A goalkeeping coach. and do you know what? Any sort of people retiring at this, just have a think on and just think, don't pigeonhole yourself in certain things. Be a goalkeeping coach.
It'd be great if they're a massive name as well. Is the money not as good for goalkeeper coach then? Because wouldn't it be great to see a huge name that's retired?
Well, I'm just trying to think who might be like Milner retiring recently. Like if he just goes into the goalkeeping coaching
I
role.
think that's quite a Milner thing to do, actually. Potentially.
I think we'll be able to find something. But if there's any listeners out there that know of any players that have turned into goalkeeping coaches, please help me out. Just send me a tweet or something with the information. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah, Jamie, I've got to ask you about the Spice Boys era. I know it's very famous, and the white suits.
Let's do this properly. Spice Boys era. I wasn't a Spice Boy. I was too old.
What was a Spice Boy at that time?
Them youngsters, like when you're 26, like a 22-year-old's a youngster.
So who are you looking at? Name the Spice Boys.
But the lads that came
Actually,
through.
probably only a year younger than me. I think it was it Stan, Phil Babb, Jason McAteer, maybe Macca, maybe Robbie. Kind of. There was more than 5, because Babsy was Scary Spice. And I kind of got brought into the Spice Boys posthumously. Is that right? Is that the right word?
That means you're dead.
My Liverpool career was dead.
Yep.
Yes, so posthumously.
At the back end of it, really.
Yeah.
Was that down?
Right, I'll rephrase. You can edit that. Retrospectively, I was sort of put into the Spice Boys. So I was
that down
never one of them.
to?
I was jealous because it was kind of like, why can't I be a Spice Boy? Obviously, you're too old.
Was that down to your modelling career?
With regards to the modelling thing, that was so Stan signs for Liverpool, record signing, I think 6.7 million or whatever it was at the time. And the guy from Arena on Plus, this guy contacts me and he goes, look, we're thinking of doing a feature with you and Stan because you both have blonde hair. Now, I didn't have blonde hair at the time. I had it the season before. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, Stan's up for it. We'll do it. So he says, yeah, we're going to do it on Sunday, And on this, I've done my hair blonde.
Hang on a minute. So they want to take photos of you, but they've said, but we'd like you to be blonde.
Yeah. It was me and Stan because we both had blonde hair and he was, well, Stan was the record signing and I was just a goalie who looked like him at times. And there was fog in Cannock, so Stan couldn't make it, which was a regular occurrence. Because Cannock apparently is one of the foggiest places. I don't know if you got it.
So he can't do fog.
95%
he
of the
won't
time.
appear if there's fog.
Yeah, his Mercedes is
foggy. That's that, Dave.
Yeah, it really is.
apparently he's terrible in Cannock.
Fine.
So the guy who was organised said, fuck that, we'll just do it with you. So I'm like, you sure? And he said, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah. So the following day, we're in the car park in Liverpool. We do all these photographs. Guy called Norman Watson, who is the photographer. And I love Norman because he was doing press-ups and like little sprints around the car park to get himself psyched up. And I'm thinking, all you're doing is taking photos. But apparently the photos come out better if you're full of adrenaline. Yeah. Now, the thing is, I wasn't a model. So for me, it was just a bit of a laugh. So we did the photos, got on the cover. Then all of a sudden, I'm contacted by Armani's press office. Well, they contact Norm Watson, sorry. And they said they really like the photos. They would like you to do some photos to put yourself in with a chance of doing the campaign.
Full frontal.
Whatever goes, I suppose. And my thing was, Armani. Yeah, okay, cool, why not? So we went out to Seville, to a petrol station. He had a thing with car parks and petrol stations. And
Loves a car park.
We're getting some dodgy character reference here.
yeah, I think the next one was
Where's
going to be an
Norman now?
Enterprise.
But were you then associated with Armani at that time?
Yeah, 'cause I basically signed 3 campaigns, which is I didn't realise, but it's a big deal.
I remember seeing the pictures.
No,
Leo.
you're in your pants.
Yeah.
That's not in a car park.
That was in a petrol station.
It was in a petrol station.
Yeah.
So that one of you in the pants, are you in your pants at the petrol station?
Yeah. Because Norman said, look, we need something physical. So I was doing handstands and lunges and stuff like that.
Did you actually do cartwheels in a petrol station in your pants? And that was the Armani campaign?
No. We ended up with a running start.
That was just for Norman. That
That was the warm-up
that was for Norm.
Whilst Norman was running around the petrol station, I was doing cartwheels.
But they were amazing pictures. Like, and that campaign, I don't know if you've seen it, but you look like a model.
Thank you.
We all remember that campaign. It's not for, I don't think it's for jokey reasons. It's just, it was the first celebrity sort of that time.
And
where
this goes back to the Spice Boys thing. It was kind of like things had gone to a different level in a sense. And for me, it was just, wow, I've been asked to do some modelling, so I'll do it for a laugh. And there was you're talking about serious. So in New York, I don't know if they still do it. They used to paint the adverts on the side of buildings. So I went out to New York, and there's 100-foot painting of me in my underpants. But
would you do it again?
Would I?
Yeah.
Well, the cartwheels probably pull a hamstring.
Norman calls. One more photo.
If Norm gets in touch.
And Norm wants
One
to
for the
turn the
road.
photo into a picture that you paint.
One for the road.
Oh, would I? Of course.
This podcast is always massively biased towards a striker point of view because obviously it's Crouchy's. But we do talk about goalkeepers quite a lot. And Crouchy has a very disparaging view on goalkeepers, really.
I think we need them. You know what I mean? We all need them.
You don't respect them as footballers.
Well, they're not footballers, they're goalkeepers, yeah.
The reason I say this is I got
all footballers say that, don't they?
I got a WhatsApp from Aaron Ramsdale, right, who listened to the podcast where you were going in on goalkeepers last.
What did I say about goalkeepers?
Well, should I play you the message from Rambo and then you decide how you're going to respond to this? And maybe Jermaine can sort of help you a bit.
Starky, just catching up on the podcast, listening to the Coaches Squad Part 2 when you talk about goalkeepers. He still winds me up. But the other thing is, how can we become managers when the goalkeepers need a goalie coach? So goalkeepers will just go into being goalie coaches. But I reckon I'd do a better job than Crouchy as a manager.
So what I said was, you don't see many keepers who are managers.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I never thought of that, actually.
I just asked the question why, and he's saying that they'll just go into being, I don't know whether it's a bias or they're just crap at management, but it's a question that needs, I thought it needed asking.
But he's nibbled. He's obviously listening to the podcast on the way into training and has been that sort of rattled by it. He's then gone to message me to then pass it on to you.
Yeah. But like the evidence is there. Obviously, Dave can back me up stats-wise. The goalkeepers, there's not many out there who are managers. Dino's off springs to mind. Nuno was...
Are you seeing any coming through with badges and from sort of behind the scenes? You're not seeing many goalies coming through management?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, over the years, a lot of goalkeepers, they finish playing, they obviously become goalkeeper coaches. A lot. So that's all growing up. That's all we've seen, to be honest.
Yeah. It's interesting because as a striker, you're probably not allowed to become a goalkeeper coach, are you?
That's the thing, yeah. That is true.
Yeah, because if you're a striker, how can you become a goalkeeper coach? You've never been in that situation before.
That's a fair point, Jermaine.
You've never
in a very logical way.
Like, because I think there's more to just saving a shot. You know what I mean? Because when you watch goalkeepers train and the stuff that they do, you can't just your whole career has been a midfielder, even been a defender, a centre half, let's say, and become a goalkeeper coach. And imagine you've been a goalkeeper at top level, and I've been a centre half, and then I'm saying, yeah, but you got to do this, you got to do this. Like, well, you've never actually been in that situation. It's difficult.
No, I get that.
Let me just read this to you. I think it's better if I read it to you. Back in '92, during Grobbelaar's testimonial game, the goalkeeper had taken a sponsorship with the Zambezi lager. The company sent out a witch doctor to Anfield to present a bottle of lager to Grobbelaar. However, they may have left more than just the beverage. It was said that the man had placed a curse on the club. He went around on the post and put his goat's tail, put his water on the posts of both sides, got the microphone and said, if you don't have the jungle man, Bruce Grobbelaar in here, you won't win the title. For years, Grobbelaar sat at home and watched the club fail to win a league title for 28 years. He thought it was his fault, and he brought the witch doctor in yet he was hopeless to do anything about the curse. Grobbelaar decided the only way to lift the curse would be to urinate on both sets of goalposts. He attempted this first in 2013-14 season, but Grobbelaar would only get as far as the cop end, being thrown out before the stopper could make it to the Anfield Road end. So he urinated on one end and couldn't get to the other because he'd get thrown out. And he believes, he told me this, I was working on BT Sport with him and he was a guest, and he said to me that he genuinely believes that this curse was on Liverpool.
Okay,
And the reason they didn't win the league was because a witch doctor had done it to him. And the fact that he wasn't in goal.
Fine, but I understand him not being in goal then being the issue because of the curse. But why did Grobbelaar think him pissing on the post would remove the curse? And also, just on a logistical level here, pissing on one set of posts, as a man, it's a struggle to stop. He's had to hold his piss and run to the other end.
Yeah. Well, I don't know the logistics of it.
Isn't it?
But he's not finished. He said, I fulfilled my task. Last season, I played in a corporate game at Anfield. We were in the dressing room and the guy said, you have to do the business today. I said, okay. So I took a water bottle, poured the water out, peed in the bottle and came back. First half at the cop end, I splashed it all over the post. Second time, I came down the Anfield Road end and I splashed it all over the other posts. The campaign following, Liverpool went on to win the title.
Can't argue
The
with
first title the club has had since Grobbelaar left the club.
So
There are still debates whether the curse was real, but either way, Liverpool won the title after Grobbelaar had laid his urine at both ends.
And before then, it'd been cursed. They hadn't got anything.
Nothing to do with Jurgen Klopp, nothing to do with the players. I think that's the reason.
So Grobbelaar's piss produces success.
I think
So
so.
let's get him to Crouch Fest. 100%.
What Grobbelaar both ends?
Piss is all over the stage. Liverpool aren't exactly flying at the moment. Should we be suggesting if I was Klopp, I wouldn't rule it out.
Right, let's move on to another one. Message from Harrison. Crouchy, would you rather Divrat grow up as a goalkeeper or a referee?
No, I don't know. I feel like I feel a bit harsh here. Like I'd rather be a goalkeeper, but we need referees. You know, like I don't want to be harsh towards referees. You know, it's good. It's a good industry. We all need them. But I just don't want him getting grief every week. As a goalkeeper, you're part of a team. You know, as a referee, you're very standalone. No one particularly likes you from either side. And, you know, if you get a decision, you don't say anything. And if you don't get the decision, he gets grief. And I just don't want that for my kid, you know, that kind of level of grief all the time.
But if your kid starts now, really puts the hours in, are they not more likely to be a world famous ref than a world famous goalkeeper?
I'd say because of Crouchy's height, massive advantage if he's a goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's a good point, Dave. I think my kid would probably have the good attributes to be a goalkeeper. You know, height. You know, I had a decent touch. You know, if he takes after me, he could probably play out from the back and be a good size and frame. I'd rather he wasn't, but you know, I'd rather him be an outfield player. But obviously, you know, if he's not good enough to be part of the 10. Then you'll take the natural progression that goalkeepers do, and that's end up with the gloves on.
But I think you're right to shine a bit of a light on
Take
referees.
that, Aaron.
I think you, we'll no doubt here.
Take that, Rambo.
I think you are right to shine a bit of a light on referees, though, because the thing is with that question, it's a bit negative all round, isn't it? It's basically painting it like two negatives.
Well, I think-
Whereas actually, they're both two amazing things to go happen. And
Yeah, if you're not a player. They're two great things to fall back on.
Are you trying to be antagonistic on this?
No.
So you think keepers are playing a different sport?
Well, it's not. They've got all different rules than anyone else.
This is why this is
He's
the
got a
problem with this
different kit on.
podcast.
The reason he's got a different kit on.
So I keep getting these sort of ranty voicemails from Ramsdale, who clearly listens to this podcast on the way to train. Doesn't seem to affect his form particularly. They're flying. But he'll then message me angry about something you've said about goalkeepers, and maybe I've now become a bit more aware of it.
Yeah, well, I've fired him up to get up to be number one.
I got one a couple of
England's
days
number
ago.
one.
He's not happy. Have a listen to the latest one.
Stark, it's me again. And again, I'm listening to the pod on the way to footy. Listen, goalie coaches are better at finishing, or goalkeepers are better at finishing as a finishing drill than players will be. Not in terms of actual overall finishing, but they do it every day. This thing, what Crouch is saying about strikers would be best for the goalkeepers, they miss the target 80% of the time. Yes, they can put it in the top corners, but it's about working the goalkeeper. I'm not happy with this segment. I'm going to be honest. Crouchy, he's letting me down. I'm going to be honest. And the reason no players, or hardly any players, will go into goalkeeper coaching is they ain't got a fucking clue about goalkeeping. Whereas goalkeepers have to know about goalkeeping and what every other 10 outfield players are doing. As you can tell, I'm not happy by the amount of voice notes I've sent you. But Crouchy needs to be educated.